Hello friends, this is Elijah Henderson here with the first new Tales from the Holler on our new secondary channel, Cryptid Studies Plus. As far as I know, Tales from the Holler will be the only fictional series to reach this channel. Anything else will be based on legitimate information or will showcase us out in the woods in the pursuit of research. If there's anything else fictional in nature, you can bet that I will let you know that it is merely for entertainment and not based on an actual encounter. With that out of the way, apologies on the long wait, and now, the Baleful Beast of Goblin Lake. Beware, beware of Goblin Lake. Don't go there for heaven's sake. The Baleful Beast will drag you under. He'll eat you up, tear you asunder. Take you to his filthy den, and there you'll meet your bloody end. This is the warning my grandpa would utter, to me and my friend's little brother. Whenever we'd head to our old fishing hole, with our tin full of worms and our cane fishing poles. Grandpa, we'd never traipse close to that lake, with its deep, murky water and cottonmouth snakes. Snakes, my young lad, is the least of your worries. There's dangers out there that are equal to Murray, the lycanthrope beast that lives up on the mountain, and one of those lives in that black water fountain, that algae-filled pit that they call Goblin Lake. So never go there for good heaven's sake, or you may encounter the beast Gilbert Finn, the goblin-like creature whose shape is like men, but not only men, also fish and like gator, an amphibian fiend that lives in that crater. Gilbert is just a nickname for the creature, and other than shape doesn't share any feature with humans at all. He's a beast through and through, and always he's looking to be feasting on you. He's covered completely with scales and with fins, with a long gator tail and a gator tooth grin. His head's like a fish, but it's way oversized, and he's covered with muck and with mucus and slime. His hands and his feet are both webbed and have claws, and he's fitted with gills and powerful jaws. Old Granny Ferris, a powerful witch, summoned this demon to kill those who dared fish in the lake that adjoined her desolate land, to kill one and all, be it woman or man. So stay away, boys, from Razorback Holler, away from the witch in that Goblin Lake water. Don't worry, Gramps, we'll just take our poles down to the creek to our frog-gigging hole. We gathered our poles, our hooks, and our bait, then we all headed out for a fun fishing date. Down at the creek we met Latham and Dean, both wearing waders for crossing the stream. Latham and Dean were bass angler pros. They knew about bait and the good fishing holes. We teamed up with them to learn from these masters, but this fishing trip would become a disaster. We fished until noon, but got nary a bite. Then Latham suggested at the lake we just might. "I'm game," shouted Dean with a dip-covered chin. "I'll catch and I'll eat that old Gilbert Finn. My grandpa just warned of that old baleful beast. If we go to that lake, we'll end up his feast." Latham said, "Dean is an old fishing pro. He'll keep us all safe. I think we should go." The five of us headed toward Razorback Holler, while Dean spit his dip in a Mountain Dew bottle, and Latham stuck lures in his blue fishing hat, and we all strode along just chewing the fat. We stopped by the cabin of Latham and Dean, and picked up his boat and a water canteen. Dean led the way in his bib overalls, while Latham kept practicing, making duck calls. We trudged through the woods out at Razorback Holler, and through a deep marsh where the boars went to waller. Using great care to avoid Granny Ferris, the haggard old witch was the devil's own heiress, evil and cruel with a heart icy cold. We gave a wide berth to the place she abode. Continuing on, we walked through a forest that looked manicured by a demonic florist. Latham cried out, he skipped and got hoppy. "Dean, we've arrived, let's go catch a crappie." Dean placed his boat in the black brackish water, as the heat of the day just got hotter and hotter. I said, "Guys, I'm not sure this idea's sound. We're trespassing on a dark, bloody ground, a place that is cursed by an old witch's hex, and guarded by demons she's conjured to vex. This place is the home of a flesh-eating beastie. His addiction to blood could make him quite feasty. And we're on the menu in our bib overalls. He'll rip us to shreds with his razor-sharp claws. I heard he once mangled old William Dotty, ripped him apart and ate half of his body. He munches on spleens, kidneys, and bones. We should turn back and just leave him alone." Dean started roaring, "I came here to fish. If you are afraid, you can leave if you wish. But there's no need to fear this strange aberration. I'll kill it and scale it. Just ask my friend Latham." Latham exclaimed, Look at him there in his new set of waders, standing majestic like an old Viking raider. If any man ever could fell this foul creature, you know it'd be Dean, my mentor and teacher. Dean stepped in the boat and prepared to cast anchor, but his compulsion for dip had started to hanker. He took out his skull to pack full his lip, when the boat where he stood proceeded to tip, and without any warning, Gilbert sprang from the lake, eyeballing Dean like an oversized steak. Latham was crying and let go his bladder. The terror he felt made his teeth start to chatter. He whimpered a little, he swooned, then fell. Latham was lying passed out in the mud, and old Gilbert Finn was out to draw blood. He lumbered ashore, this murderous brute, and I and my friends knew that we had to scoot. But before we could turn to make our retreat, Dean took a frog gig and gigged Gilbert's feet. Then Dean took a lure from Latham's blue hat, which he tied to his pole just as quick as a cat. With a flick of his wrist, he cast out his line, with an accurate aim that was almost divine. The lure that he chose was an old fishing fly, and it caught Gilbert Finn in his big bulbous eye. The murky-depth demon thrashed all about, but when Dean set his hook, the eyeball came out. His ocular cavern was spewing out blood, as Latham kept lying right there in the mud. Gilbert was glaring with murderous hate, but instead of attacking, he just swam away. We were all left to find our way home, to abandon this place and leave Gilbert alone. Latham awoke, on his face was a grin. He said, "Dean, you're my hero, I knew you would win." We all survived and a lesson was learned. We ventured back home and we never returned. Some people think that our story was fake, but I know that Gilbert's still up at the lake, watching and waiting for all who would dare to come fighting the Goblin and disrupt his lair. He'll tear off your head and rip you apart, suck out your marrow and eat up your heart. So stay away, for goodness sake, from the Baleful Beast of Goblin Lake.